Germs and germs, the time is nigh. It's time for a collection update. How you doing? My name is the Filthy, the inimitable, the handyman, the one that has the headbangs and the stuff and the thoughts and the face and the beard. The Brainsmasher. How you doing? Hope you're all staying hydrated out there. So, collection update. You know the drill. Stuff I've gotten in the last 2 weeks or so. It's been a while since I did a video, actually. Gonna try and crank out a shit ton of content over the next couple of days or whatever. My favorite partner is out of town visiting Munich, Germany. So I am going to be diving headfirst into metal like I always do. What you hear in the background is weird and awesome. And I don't know, coincidence? Karova, A Kiss in the Charnel Fields. This is some really, really bizarre Austrian death metal. That is a fucking riff, let me tell you. Yeah, from 1995. Good stuff. Just bizarre and avant-garde. The main guy, I don't know if I can tell you which one. Probably this Christoph Niederweiser. He started a big website, avantgardemetal.com, which is a great resource for lots of information on metal that is weird and avant-garde. So, a couple CDs, couple LPs. Let's do this. So, I don't know. I met this friend many years ago when I stayed at Blake Judd's house up in Chicago for a night, and his roommate was Matthias, really cool guy, cooler than his roommate. Anyway, so I wound up hitting it off with him, and we were friends online for years, and we lost touch, and so through this YouTube video, he got in touch with me again, and we've been talking again, and he sent me a copy of his second album. His band is called Murmur. The first debut was called Mainlining the Lugubrious, and when I met him, he was working on this material, and what he told me about it really had me amped up for it. And it also, the cool thing about it was that it came out on Seasons of Mist, which was like a big step up. I believe his first album was self-released, and so to kind of nail getting that out on Seasons of Mist was a big deal. This LP version did not come out on Seasons of Mist, however. This is probably going to be one of those videos where my voice and my throat is getting hoarse. It might be getting a touch of the sick. We will see. Anyways, so Murmur did quite a bit of a change in style on this record, and they haven't released another album since. But style-wise, this is a really, really odd and fascinating kind of thing. It's super, super dissonant and dense. I remember at the time both of us were really freaking out about kind of the current era at that time of Deathspell Omega's material, and he was saying that this material was going to be highly influenced by that, and it shows. It really does come through that way. It's just a really, really odd listen. Comes in a nice gatefold presentation. 2 LPs on just black wax. Comes with a little handmade insert here. I want to say this label, I've never heard of it. Might be a little more of a DIY kind of thing than Seasons of Mist, that is for sure. Anyways, yeah, there's this little insignia down below. Really cool stuff though. Thank you, Matthias, for sending me this. Happy to have it in the collection. Yeah, check out Murmur if that sounds interesting. Really technical, really, really odd, progressive kind of stuff, but very, very kind of heady and hypnotic and bizarre. Good stuff. Also, a couple of videos ago, I think I played the Tanks in that video, and I decided to pick up another album from the Tanks. This is a local band, sort of like party metal, You could maybe say somewhere between Queens of the Stone Age, maybe Caius. I'm not too familiar with Caius's material whatsoever, but I think I can kind of make that comparison enough. Just big riffs, fun vocals, killer drumming. It was just a fun band. This is just like a DIY screen printed kind of release. DIY hand printed or stamped labels. You know, the party kind of stuff on the insert. It's got a free download with it. Good stuff. I think if you liked it in the background of that video before, I think this might be my favorite material from them, and I just never got around to picking it up. It's killer stuff. Epic Loads from the Tanks. So that does it for the vinyl. Now that I think about it, I think there's one more thing that I got in on 12-inch. There is, and I didn't talk about them. Fuck. Cut and roll. 3, 2. Also got in on vinyl these two masterpieces. Obscura by Gorguts. Oh, which, by the way, Murmur, I listened to it today, reminds me a lot of Gorguts in the rip department. But Obscura, man, just, there is nothing like this era of Gorguts. The early material, godly, but meat and potatoes death metal. I think we can all agree that there isn't anything all that spectacular or weird about the era of the first two, Considered Dead and the other one. But this is where they got so bizarre. Obscura's got just like those nocturnus kind of static electricity kind of riffs that sometimes are dissonant and huge, but then just come crashing at you. It's just super tumultuous and brutal. So this was finally, I don't think this has been on vinyl yet, as until now. War on Music did this in collaboration with Century Media, Nuclear War Now. I don't remember, black vinyl? Yeah, just black vinyl. This is a double LP. This is a bit of a longer listen. And also got From Wisdom to Hate. I think this one came out after that one. But again, this isn't too much of a departure from Obscura. Maybe a little bit tighter, a little bit more dense and furious. But fucking respect the hell out of what they did for the genre, honestly. Also on War on Music. Pick these up at Nuclear War Now for something like $17 and $25. Cheaper being the single LP. Black vinyl too? Yeah, nothing to look at. You all seen a black record. You know what that's like. So, CDs, my favorite. Talked about Falconer a couple of videos ago. Realized I didn't have their debut. Picked it up. Killer singer, killer vocals, everything. I won't go into them too much. Let's see. Got a lot of VCLT presents, gifts from friends. So it's been really cool to get this stuff. We'll get into that. I'm going to keep that all, I think, toward the end or something. Also picked up the new one from Grafitnir. This is a hard one to pronounce, spell, and remember and whatnot, but these guys crank out like one album per year, and it is fucking blazing, infernal, furious, melodic, Swedish black metal with the most insidious fucking black metal vocals you will ever hear. By the way, this reminds me. That is a fucking rip. I got a comment on one of my videos the other day that said I say fuck too much. Too many F-bombs. Fuck you. This is YouTube where we don't have to worry about that kind of shit. If you have a problem... The fact that I say fuck a lot, I don't say fuck a lot. In this video, maybe I do. It's not like I'm lacking a vocabulary to describe things without using the word fuck. Fuck off, dude. Anyways, Grafitnir. Great stuff. You know, it's not that all that unique or different. It's just better at a lot of things that are already out there, like Watain, a little bit of dissection here and there, maybe a little bit of Inquisition, here and there, but they're really coming into their own and being their own thing. I think I might like this just a pinch more than the last one because the mix on this is a little bit better, but always a good time to put on a Grafbertner album. Also got in, so in my last video I found myself wanting to play My Angel by Arcturus, and I realized I don't have it on CD. I have it on vinyl. Kirk Productions did limited reissues of Constellation and My Angel with extra bonus stuff on them maybe 6 or 8 years ago or so. And the LP of those is actually easier to get, cheaper to get than the CD versions. They did these leather-bound A5 digibook kind of things that I'm not really feeling like shelling out for. Since I already have most of that material, but maybe if the collector scum in me rises forth, I might do it. So I picked up a release that I never wanted to actually get. This, if you're an Arcturus fan, and Matt Jones, I know you are from the Dark Path. What I'll say about this, man, I forgot how good this fucking record is. And I haven't worn this shirt in like 10 years. So this is a remastered version of Asperheim Sinfonia, and the remaster is fucking abysmal. If you respect that album whatsoever, avoid this fucking remaster remix at all costs. It fucking does it a complete and utter disservice. But there is bonus material on here that makes this kind of worth getting. I only paid like $6 or $8 for this thing. There's some extra unreleased material, like Cosmo Jam and shit like that. There's these like songs that were never released, and they probably kind of should have stayed unreleased. But you get the My Angel EP as well as the Constellation material, and I don't think there is any other release on CD other than the expensive Kirk A5 leatherbound digibooks that have this on them. So it's kind of worth getting for cheap, but honestly, I can't believe how much they butchered the fucking Asperheim Sinfonia. I love that album to bits, and there was never anything fucking wrong with it in the first place. So for a complete 180, and I promised one of my subscribers, and who I reciprocate subscription to, ever since Mike Seatown did a shout out to her, This Machine Kills Music. Been enjoying her new YouTube content. It is to the left of metal, and it's been getting me to kind of listen to some more avant-garde kind of experimental kind of stuff, and it's been fun. And it reminded me that I have been meaning to get a copy of this on CD for a really long time. This is Laibach with Macbeth. So Laibach, if you don't know Macbeth by Laibach, forget everything you know about Laibach. I've been learning more about Laibach and understanding their discography a little bit better, and it is fucking weird. Laibach is a really, really strange, bizarre band. The albums that bookend before and after this release is a Beatles cover album and a Rolling Stones cover album. And I never, ever would have wanted to hear any band do that. I fucking loathe the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. But it's really funny. It's also really different than this. Macbeth is a soundtrack to a performance of, I think this is Shakespeare, Macbeth. I know nothing about theater whatsoever. So this was to be performed or maybe played live while Macbeth was performed. It is a bizarre listen. The way I found out about this was there used to be this record store called Rockenbach, and when I got out of high school, I was in there pretty often. Actually, my home base record store was Relics Records, but Rockenbach across town also had some pretty good stuff. But they had this shopping cart, a literal shopping cart full of 10-cent cassettes, and you just go digging through there and looking for weird shit. And this caught my eye, and I picked it up and I put it in, and it was so weird. It is militaristic, it's very martial, and that really describes much of Laibach's material, but most of Laibach's material is also really heavily industrial, kind of sounding like Kraftwerk, and a lot more vocal oriented, whereas this is much more kind of found sounds, more sampling going on. If you're familiar with The Moon Lay Hidden Beneath a Cloud, I think that's a nice comparison where they kind of use these music snippets and found sounds and kind of use them in a repetitive synthesis to make up these kind of ethereal kind of songs. But this is just a really bizarre kind of listen. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but check out Laibach's Macbeth. As always, links down below. Let's see. Also, so one of the things I like to watch for new recommendations or whatnot is What's in Your Bag. Amoeba Records out in California does them, and then like musicians shop through the store and sit down and do kind of like basically YouTubing about the albums that they bought. And so I saw one with Niche from Alcest, and I really like Alcest, and I was really curious to see what he was picking up. And this is one that really struck me. This is Dead Can Dance's third record, Within the Realm of a Dying Sun. I've toyed here and there with Dead Can Dance's discography, and I absolutely adore Lisa Gerrard's singing, but the other singer, the guy in this group, kind of, I don't know, it's been the what do you call it, the reason that I don't like Dead Can Dance, let's say. So I've been kind of, I guess, like dancing around in my head, kind of wanting to reapproach Dead Can Dance as a nearing 40-year-old man. So he said, Niche said that this was the first album where they stopped playing guitar, and this is all synthesizers and more classical, neoclassical kind of stuff. And I decided to pick it up. And God, this fucking Korova, I forgot how great this is. It's so caustic and fucking weird. So yeah, this Dead Can Dance, I don't know, I guess I didn't wind up liking it as much as I would have hoped, but I think I might listen to their first two and kind of see what I think. I was really looking for something a little bit more avant-garde gothic out of them. So I don't know, if you have a recommendation about Dead Can Dance based on what I've told you, put it down below. So, presents from friends. My buddy Cal and I were hanging out the other day. Oh, there's one more I bought, but whatever. And Cal is a huge tape fan, audio cassettes. So we like to give each other cassettes because I kind of hate cassettes. CDs obviously are my thing, and he's the opposite. So we like perfectly coexist in this town, and we're getting each other into bands. So anyways, he wanted to dump off some CDs on me, and that's welcome anytime because he delivers. This is Evil Dead with Annihilation of Civilization. I haven't thought about this band in a really long time, and it's funny because we got Catatonia in there. Not sure where the disc is, somewhere in my car probably. My buddy Rob Alanis plays drums in this band, and I got to know Rob when he was playing with Noctuary back in the late 90s, early 2000s. There's the guys. But this is just kind of a silly, fun speed metal thrash record. I would probably never go out of my way to spend more than maybe $10 on this, but this is an OG press of this. It's got a bonus track, Bohica, on it. Got killer Ed Repka artwork on there, so that was fun. He also gave me Blasphemo Phaser, hard to pronounce band. I'm kind of surprised these guys didn't take off more than they did, but these were kind of a mid-era Nuclear War Now band. I believe they were from Italy, and I remember the singer of this band was on MySpace fucking everywhere back when these guys were, I think just before this record came out. This might have been the last thing they put out, I don't know. It might have been, maybe they fell from grace or whatnot, but got that. This album's called Nuclear Empire of Apocalypse. He also gave me this, I don't know how to pronounce this, Goethia. And this is on Rotted Life I wasn't familiar with this whatsoever, but I've listened to it a few times since he gave it to me, and I don't know, it's not that extraordinary. It's kind of reminds me of Entombed, early Entombed, done with a drum machine, really well programmed drum machine. Everything is really super well done, but it just kind of sounds like a Entombed if it were born in a cave of one man's mental anguish. You know, it's kind of got this celestial kind of space, Star Wars kind of theme going on. I need to give it my full attention and really give it a listen, but it's alright. Also got in. Okay, this might be the highlight of the video. I kind of forgot about this until getting through the pile. This band is called Solemn, and the album is called Kaddish. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, I hope I am. It's a band that I've maybe kind of heard of here and there throughout the years, and the logo is probably the reason that I never decided to check out this band. But I'm really glad I got this. This is fucking awesome. I don't know where this falls in their discography, and I need to know more about their other releases, that's for sure. But Kaddish is very reminiscent. Even though it's coming out in 1994, I want to say, really reminds me of early Samael. I would kind of put this maybe somewhere between Blood Ritual and Ceremony of Opposites in there. It kind of has a little bit of both, but also reminds me quite a bit of early Death, especially Leprosy. Maybe even a little bit of the other one, the Spiritual Healing. So next, yeah, check out Solemn. It's great. My buddy Jake up in Minnesota sent me these. He didn't have to do these, but man, these are fucking awesome. This is Circadian Ritual with Befallen, and this came out on Live Fast Die Productions. I don't know. This is a CDR label, I guess. I don't know if this is maybe an imprint of one of the members of the band. The only member of this band that I do know is Jake. He watches my videos, and I appreciate it. I miss you badly. But this is fucking amazing doom metal from Minnesota. Very reminiscent, sometimes of Mournful Congregation, whom I fucking adore. Also very reminiscent of Yob, who are one of those bands that I do love, and I do feel like they deserve every bit of credit that they get. It's not often there's a band that everybody loves where I'm like, fuck yeah. So, really, really great stuff. I'm really impressed with the recording, the mixing, the mastering on here, and that is because it is done by Jory from, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check my notes here. Yeah, mastered by Jory from Nephrons, the killer Binderuin band. So check out Circadian Ritual with The Fallen. And also, Jake sent me, I forgot to look this up, his solo record. This is Quercus alba, which I believe is the Latin scientific term for an oak tree. Waters to Nowhere. And now this is some beautiful acoustic music, and usually when something like this falls across my stupid brain, I think that's probably good, but it sounds like all the other stuff, and all the songs on it probably sound like one another. That is not the case with Waters to Nowhere. This is really, really awesome debut. You put a lot of work into it, and it really shows. There's tons of different kinds of instrumentation going on. Instead of being more like, let's say, Olver's Kveldsanger, for comparison, where those songs have choral vocals everywhere. There's no vocals on this whatsoever, by the way. And those songs are super melodic and have these harmonies just drifting everywhere. This is a lot more, I think, kind of stripped down and hypnotic and percussive in a way. I've only listened to half of it so far, so I can't necessarily speak for the entire album, but I was really impressed with the first half of it. There's lots of different instrumentation going on too. I think I heard some zither, definitely some mandolin. You may know Jake from playing mandolin with Panopticon, if you've seen them live. He also plays electric guitar with Panopticon live. But it's really, really good stuff. I'm really, really proud of you, Jake. Keep it up. I think if this was released on vinyl, I do think that people would be going fucking nuts for Circadian Ritual. They're playing live. You should be able to check them out if you live up there. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.